I have a reading for you this morning from Reverend Margaret Weiss called "The Congregation Has Left the Building." The congregation is not a place, it is a people. The congregation is not only a building along the road with streets and cars, rather it is a people proclaiming to the world that we are here for the work of healing and justice. The congregation is not just walls built stone upon stone, held together by mortar, but rather person, linked with person, linked with person. All ages and genders and abilities, a community built on the foundation of reason, faith, and love. The congregation is not just a set of doors open on Sunday morning, but the commitment day after day and moment after moment of our hearts creaking open the doors of welcome to the possibility of new experience and radical welcome. The congregation is not simply a building, a sanctuary, a pulpit. The congregation is the gathering together of all the people and experiences and fear and love and hope in our resilient hearts, gathering however we can to say to the world, welcome, come in, lay down your heartache and pick up hope and love. For the congregation is us, each and every one of us, together, a beacon of hope to this world that so sorely needs it. So many ministers have something called a spiritual director. Well, actually, many people who value being spiritually grounded do. But I've got one, and her name is Susan, and I've been working with her for about 3 years now. So like any good coach or therapist, Susan doesn't do any of the work for me. Instead, she grounds me in my best self, that self who knows how to connect to my spirit and my sense of connectedness to the world. And usually she does a lot of reminding me of to do the things that I already know work for me, like taking deep breaths, like getting out in nature, slowing down, and looking for the divine in everything. When things get really challenging, she pulls out her doozy question. Where did you find God in that situation? Now, Susan understands Unitarian Universalists, and she knows that our definition of God is very broad. For some, it can be nature. For some, it can be reason. For some, it can be community. And for others, it's the universe. But she also knows that I can translate when she asks me, where did I find God in that? So these days, I've been thinking a lot about her question, because this is a tough situation. And I, like many of you, have been trying to make meaning out of this quickly changing and scary landscape. I've been trying to ground my emotions and my spirit from jumping to anxiety and worry. And so I find myself looking for those God moments. Now, I want to be clear and say I am not looking for the silver linings. I do not necessarily believe that there is good that comes out of every situation. I think that some situations are just rough and hard, and I don't think that we need to be looking for the good to be able to be in the roughness. I do not believe that things like this virus were sent here to teach us a lesson. I think that that's just not where my heart is. And I certainly do not believe that they came from God. That is not my God. I do believe in science that this is a virus that is infectious and multiplies inside our human bodies. It was not created by God or a higher power, and I will strongly denounce anyone who uses that line of reasoning for their own hateful agenda. In his book, Religions, Values, and Peak Experiences, Abraham Maslow coined the term peak experiences, to indicate the religious experiences that are accessible to anyone, whether they are identified with a religion or theology or not. Maslow, who I've been relying on a lot lately, explores different types of peak experiences, such as ecstatic experiences, or simply a time when we reach out and we feel part of something greater than our simple selves. These can happen at wonderful times, but they can also happen in the valleys of our lives. I find that people talk about them in the most intense times of their life. Think about it. When you had a really joyful experience or a really painful time in your life, did you experience moments that you just can't explain, but that left an impression on you? Something that touched you deeper than a normal human emotion? Something that made you feel connected or held by something beyond yourself. So, in a national and global tragedy like this, I find myself looking for the God moments. I see moments from the reality that comes from a place of fear and mortality. While we are always one tragedy away from death, I am finding people realizing that their mortality can feel closer than ever right now. And that makes us more open to exploring the deeper meanings in our lives. I am honestly finding God moments in all of you, all the time, in how you are connecting with each other, how you just said hello to your neighborhood groups, how you are checking on each other, how you are dropping toilet paper off to each other. I am seeing moments every time I talk with our volunteers and our leaders as they extend their hands and ask, how can I help? I'm finding it in the kindness and the vulnerability of our midweek Zoom gatherings. They've been wonderful, and I do encourage you to join us. I'm finding it in my online meetings with my friends, which we're having 3, 4, 5 of them a week now, and the sweetness of the calls with our sons and our mothers. I'm wondering how long this situation will last where I need to keep looking for these God moments. And I am worried just how intense it will get, where I will need to be looking for them even more. But for now, I'm trying to live in the moment and be aware of where they are and being grateful to the connection to that which is larger to me that bring them to me. May you find your own moments in this momentous time together. May you juggle just one thing at a time and be aware of the moments that might be reaching out to you. And may we, as a community, be a generator of so many God moments. So might it be.